for the first time. I'm doing a podcast with an IPS officer. Like mostly, अभी तक मेरा जितना knowledge है, it's with the law and order, things like that. But this is the first time experience that the field you are handling. Just can you give me a little bit brief about this?
I am Dipanshu. I'm 97 batch IPS, and presently I am holding charge of Transport Commissioner of Chhattisgarh, as well as Commissioner Public Relations of Chhattisgarh, and CEO of Samvad, one organization of the Government of India. So these are the charges I hold. So in transport department, we would be handling the RT offices, the tax and the enforcement and recovery of the taxes, and regarding to safety of people driving, the rules and regulations, the enforcement of the Central Motor Vehicle Act. So that's our main job there. As Commissioner Public Relation, I handle the public relation of Government of Chhattisgarh. It is involving interaction with the various departments and the schemes that the government is coming up. How do we project these schemes so that it reaches to the beneficiary? The all kinds of publicity, the various gamut of all publicities, I handle that.
So you said about PR, and like I also come from that media industry, like being a podcast. What would you suggest to the youth? You have seen this change, that there's a lot of youth is not taking those conventional jobs, being a vloggers, podcast, and like these things.
What I personally feel is that when you compare West with us, and when you compare the people that the jobs that they do, so my take on that is that those people, they are happy with those jobs because they want to do that job which is their passion. So suppose you wanted to be a journalist, or you wanted to do you wanted to be a YouTuber, and if you could do that is making you happy. So most of us land in jobs where we didn't want to do, but for just of the bread butter we landed up. So there are many people who would give exams, and then they'll land up in one job which they feel is that not appropriate to that. So my deal is, once the passion that you have, if you pursue and if you can get that job. In smaller cities it is a bit difficult, but yes, the metros where these things are there, a lot of people are moving on to those things. And whenever I go to school, and then I talk to children and all, I see the same thing. Take those studies which you feel you happy about. So suppose if you don't, even for the parents I speak, that you please don't pressurize your child. So every child is different. You and me will be different. All of us, just think of it that we don't look alike. So all of these 5-6 billion people we are living, we are not alike. So everything is different. So every child is different. He'll think differently. He would his interests are different. So one will be interested in maths, other will be interested in drawing, somebody will be interested in science, other things into politics. So allow your kid to take his passion. Nowadays so parents are worried. So suppose I've seen people doing sports, and then some of the parents want that he should pursue, and then they would say that way he should get a job. So that's one issue with us, because we have so much of population pressure on the jobs. So that at times puts pressure on the child as well as the parents. But still I feel that one should pursue their passion so as to live a fulfilling life.
You said about, sir, the point of view from parents and also from the kids' point of view. Like just we were talking about before starting the conversation, that you said throughout my work at night, I go home and I see of some, what I can post on social media, the good things. That's the content creation. Do you think it will be a huge chunks of revenue generation in coming days?
Oh yes. So since I've come into this department and I've been interacting, so when we do our events, so social media has really taken everybody by a storm, and the way it has impacted our lives and impacted the way media is operating. I have been to Delhi and I interacted with very senior journalists and head of departments of people there in Noida as well. All of them are saying that the future is social media. How trends move on in social media, that directs them that how the news should continue. So they have a plan and some event comes up, and that everybody moves into that direction. So that is one. Second is that since more and more people are coming onto media, the way smartphone are increasing, now everything is on your mobile. The future ahead is that data rates coming down, availability of smartphones getting reduced. Now we are expecting a boom. Even with 5G, the kind of I was hearing Manish Maheshwari, who was earlier with Twitter, he's come up with a metaverse city. So he's talking about 3D experience. Facebook is planning for a 3D experience. So more and more content will come that way. So the content creations and the company are capitalizing, monetizing those things. And once even where we give ads, we also see that how much impressions has it be taken if a video is there. So there's a guy Sukhdev who is from a very remote district of Chhattisgarh, who is famous for that Baspan Ka Pyar. So Baspan Ka Pyar guide. So it's what? So social media has pushed it. Everybody I was seeing on Instagram, everybody was dancing on that same song. So and obviously films have an impact, but yes, so that's how people start creating. You have bloggers, you have influencers who are charging heftily, and there are companies who are doing this. Many of the TV actresses and all, if you'll see, they'll do sponsorship things. So I think that is changing.
Sir, if I connect you like 1997, you clear UPSC, you have a childhood before that, your college life, everything. Aaj ke zamana, like you all were not that social media active, media active of your generation, but this generation 5 साल के बच्चा भी इतना अच्छा कर लेता है कि you sometimes think how he is doing it. Do you feel like being into bureaucracy, you need to update a lot, and that was a challenging point of time?
Yes.
To that aspect.
Yes, I still I was never operating any social media account. So in between I started Facebook, but I didn't like that, so I closed it. I don't know if I've exited from that account. It's still there. But neither was I active in Twitter till 2016-17. I just got into it because few of my friends who were seeing it, because one of my friend was pushing me to, why don't you come into Twitter, and it's good for so one is I was busy, I didn't want to put in that much effort. Then I realized that when I was IG Bilaspur, so a few friends who are into this media, then they told me ki sir, this is one way of connecting with people and helping them. So I didn't understand. Then they came down to me and then they said ki this is how this will help in grievance redressal. So then I took that, and you won't.
Can you just brief that?
So what happened is that in police there are problems, and people. So our cutting edge level is the police station. So people don't know that where to complain. So in smaller districts we have the SPs. So they'll go to the DSP, city SP, and then the additional SP or SP. And then you have a IG, or in the metros you have the DCPs and additional CP and the commissioner of police. So lot many people, so 90% of people go to the police station and they end up out there. Then there are many complaints or many information that they need for traffic. So that's one important aspect of policing, traffic police. So very few people interact with the normal police or civil police, but there's a lot of interaction with the traffic police as well. So then they told me, ki, sir, how do you so Twitter is one mode wherein you can help people connect to you. You can listen to their problems and you can solve them. You can solve them, and then this will give a better image for the police. So initially I was reluctant to do that. Then one of those guys, he said, "Ki sir, I'll operate it for you. I'll be with you." And then they trained people in my office.
Was it challenging in the initial?
It was challenging. It was challenging more to see at the end. There are many such systems. So there is a grievance system. There is so we have earlier it used to be a पेटी which you call, कि आप वहाँ जा कर के अपनी कंप्लेंट डाल दो और फिर उसको कंप्लेंट देखेगा. फिर आपने नंबर्स दे करके रखे हुए हैं कि इस नंबर पे कॉल करो. एंड रिजल्ट ये इम्पोर्टेंट था कि भाई वाई विल पीपल कम ऑन ट्विटर एंड कंप्लेंट. सो द एंड रिजल्ट वॉज कि अगर इफ वी कुड resolve their problem, then it would be the best thing. So it was a challenge to first set up some systems where if a complaint used to come on Twitter, then we would take a printout of that, then we would pass it on, or we would give it to the officers on WhatsApp, and then they'll come back to you. So this mechanism was important, so as to, and then again posting back ki boss, this is your problem and this is the solution that we have done. So we did that very well. And the IG Bilaspur handle was quite popular, and then a lot of people started interacting with me. And then I was transferred to Durg. I did there as well. No, I was transferred to Raipur. I did it there. So then slowly I realized that Twitter has a lot of potential. So I went into my personal account as well. I started posting motivating quotes. I wanted to motivate the youth to help them, and slowly steadily I encouraged all my officers in police, senior officers, SP level officers. I started all of these handles. I told all of the districts to start those police handles. Then we verified those handles so that people, so there were multiple handles so the people could understand. And then we briefed people that how can we operate it. So now mostly all of our districts have my chhattisgarhpolice as a handle, and they respond on that. Traffic police has started those handles, so that is how complaints have been coming, and we have been responding to that. So, and UP has done well. A lot many people. I think railways is doing quite well. There's a good response system for that. So these social media should be used as a leverage to help people. I think during COVID times we've helped a lot of people, even for labors and all. And when they were stranded, people would connect us. They knew that in Chhattisgarh I was active, so they used to connect with me, and we would coordinate for help for them. So I think it's really challenging, and especially when I used to tell for my seniors. I remember they were a bit skeptical on it. But yes, when you see a guy who's 5 years, a bacha who is 5-year-old, he does it so well and we cannot. So then we've started doing a lot. I think a lot many officers on it. Some people are worried. They really don't. They feel that.
You worried about this? क्या पोस्ट करना चाहिए क्या नहीं?
Obviously, ऐसा कई बार हुआ है कि आप टाइपिंग एरर कर देते हो. आप जल्दी टाइप करते हुए. अभी कल परसों मेरा एक एरर हो गया कि वो I just forgot it was a Thursday and I wrote it a Wednesday करके. एंड एक दो बार गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन हो गई. सो कई बार आपको कहीं से इन्फॉर्मेशन आई, आपने उस पर पोस्ट कर दिया. किसी कोई बाहर का एक कोई वीडियो था. आजकल इस तरह के वीडियोस हैं, यू नीड टू वेरीफाई दैट हैंडल. सो एट टाइम्स आई वेरीफाई दैट कि कहीं कोई न्यूज़ में आया हो. कई बार आपको एक्सक्लूसिव कुछ चीज़ें रहती जो वेरीफाइड नहीं होती हैं. एक I had posted a video of a horse running in between two trains. I think it has around more than 5 lakh views and 30,000 like. So that was an excellent video. I think Indian Express covered it later from where it was. So few of the videos are exclusive. So it times it is difficult and गड़बड़ भी होता है एंड लोग चिंतित भी रहते हैं, बट मुझे लगता है कि मेरा व्हाट आई पर्सनली फील इज़ इफ़ आई वुड हेल्प few people through the social media, if I could motivate few people through that, and if I would keep myself happy by expressing some of my feelings out there, तो इससे अच्छी कोई बात नहीं है करके.
सर आपने फीलिंग्स की बात की, you have seen evolution, okay, so like जब हम पैदा नहीं हुए उसके पहले ने you have been to the bureaucracy, you have seen the evolutions very closely. बट एक ना लेमैन स्टाइल में अगर मैं बताऊं, लोगों की ये अंदाज होता है पुलिस मतलब वही क्राइम कंट्रोल, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है ना, इसके ऊपर रहता है. बट डू यू थिंक इफ यू टॉक अबाउट फ्यूचर कंटेंट क्रिएशन, सोशल मीडिया, एज वी हैव बायो वॉर्स राइट नाउ, will there be virtual wars and that will be challenging for policing?
So you have to understand, abhi something which happened in Pakistan where they were supporting Kashmir has created a Twitter war in India. So things are not that simple. So suppose, so everything now, this whole world is a small place now. So you are getting here, you transfer money by Bitcoin to other place. We're sitting here, just simple. There is no. So earlier there was कि हम physical transfer करना है. So the things are moving. It's moving very fast. You'll just see. एक बार आप 5G पूरे वर्ल्ड पूरे इसमें आ जाने दीजिए. आई हैव बीन ऑलवेज टेलिंग दिस, 5G इज गोइंग टू चेंज द वे वी लुक एट इंटरनेट. इट विल बी एन वेरी हाई स्पीड डाटा ट्रांसफ़र. हमारे जितने काम कर रहे हैं कि सारा चीज़ें सब कुछ बदल जाएगा. हम डार्क वेब की बात करते हैं, कई लोग नहीं पता है, हम लोग तो चूँकि उसमें ट्रेनिंग लेते हैं, सारी चीज़ें लेते हैं. सो वी रियलाइज़ दैट इट्स रियली बैड. अब जिस तरह से ड्रग्स का ट्रेडिंग, आर्म्स का ट्रेडिंग, जिस तरह से बाकी सारे लोग वहाँ जा कर के आपके डाटा का ट्रांसफ़र, आपकी हैक करके आपके वीडियोस, आपके पर्सनल फ़ोटोज़, इसका सेल होते रहता है. सो वन एज पुलिस ऑफिसर आई हैव इंटरेस्ट इन साइबर. सो मतलब व्हेन वी टॉक एंड व्हेन वी डिस्कस इन आवर ग्रुप्स एंड ऑल, सो इट्स अ चैलेंज ऑल टुगेदर. And when more and more people are getting into it, so verifying, it's very easy to malign anybody. So you know, what we are saying now is कि आज मेरी इच्छा हुई and I have written something, and it's one way of expressing your woe. And the more you have the capacity of influencing other, the more power you have. So that's how things are moving on. So now when press people come to us, they say that these are the in the derivables they'll write these many million views on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. So they'll tell us कि हम यहाँ पर नंबर 1 है या नंबर 2 है, हमारा इतने व्यूज़ हैं. तो you'll just see the power that social media is carrying. आप आगे आने वाले दिनों में ये हो जाएगा कि दिल से कि ओके ये न्यूज़ नहीं, इन सोशल मीडिया इफ़ यू वांट टू we'll charge you money for posting on social media, because that is how it is moving. I see that future, and the way it influences people, the way it is influencing youth. आपके छोटे बच्चे घरों में माँ बाप दे रहे हैं उनको मोबाइल, द वे दे आर यूजिंग डिफरेंट इंस्टाग्राम, स्नैपचैट और भी जितनी सारी चीज़ें हैं, इट्स रियली डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड ऑल टुगेदर.
कभी कभी लगता है कि क्या सोच के पुलिसिंग में आए और क्या पुलिसिंग चेंज हो गया.
नहीं, ऐसा तो ये है कि देखिए, यू विल हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, पुलिसिंग जब तक बेसिक पुलिसिंग तो रहेगी. आज हमारी साइबर क्राइम्स होने के बाद भी देखिए, हम जिस समाज में रह रहे हैं वहाँ पर हर तरह के अपराध होंगे. मैकॉली ने जो पिनल कोड बनाया, वंस यू रीड इट, इट्स एन एक्सेलेंट बुक. It defines each and every aspect of our human life. आपकी मारपीट है तो किस तरह की मारपीट, उसका इंटेंशन, वंस आई थिंक पीपल शुड रीड, मतलब हम लोग कभी पढ़ते नहीं, मतलब द इंडियन पिनल कोड आईपीसी जो है, या इवन सीआरपीसी इन्होंने बनाई, आईपीसी द इंडियन पिनल कोड 1861 में बना हुआ है. सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ही इज रिटन किस तरह के ऑफेंसेस हैं, मतलब दे माइट हैव सीन ऑल दोज ऑफेंसेस, दे हैव जस्ट, अभी तक वी हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू मेक, वो वही 1861 का चल रहा है. सो वो अपराध तो बढ़ ही रहे हैं, वो अपराध में समाज में ग्रोथ ही है. अगर वो हम लोग मैं आज जो देख रहा था, हर साल हम लोग 5% 10% की, कई जगह 20% की, कई में पुलिस FIR नहीं करती इसलिए कम रहता है. बट दैट, सो आवर पॉपुलेशन इज इंक्रीजिंग, लोगों की एस्पिरेशंस में बदलाव हो गया है, मटेरियलिस्टिक चेंज आया है. आज एवरीबडी के लिए पैसा बहुत ज़रूरी हो गया है, तो आपके लिए भाइयों में विवाद. सो सोसाइटी जो पहले थी उससे ज़्यादा ही ख़राब हो रही है. सोसाइटी में नैतिक मूल्यों का पतन हो रहा है. मतलब इतना मतलब जो पहले हम मतलब आप गांव में 8 बजे गांव सो जाता था, 7 बजे सो जाता था, क्योंकि उसको सुबह जल्दी उठना था, क्योंकि रात में उसके पास काम करने का नहीं था. अब आपने उनके घरों में डिश टीवी ला दिया है, सब कुछ कर दिया है, आपने इंटरनेट कर दिया है, आदमी बैठे बैठे मोबाइल पे बात कर रहा है या वो कर रहा है. तो और उसके कारण झगड़े अलग हो रहे हैं और वो सारी चीज़ें लेकर के आ रहा है. एक दूसरे से हम लोग के लिए हेट्रेड के लिए कम नहीं है, पूरे मोबाइल भरा पड़ा है एक दूसरे को हेट्रेड के लिए, कास्ट वाइज, रिलीजन वाइज. सो आई पर्सनली फील कि वो अपराध तो रहेंगे, ये अपराध भी काफ़ी बढ़ जाएगा. एंड ऑब्वियसली व्हेन वी केम एंड हमारा ना उस समय हमारी ना ट्रेनिंग थी ना कुछ था, फिर बाद के कोर्सेज में सीखने लगे. कई अफसर्स को तो रियली जो आप कह रहे हैं ना कि आई नो मैनी अफसर्स who wouldn't be very comfortable with operating computers, and but जो नए अफसर्स हैं they are very good at laptop, mobile phone, all kinds of connectivity. They understand how things are being done. They have been trained that way as well.
But I want to thank you for this. There are many seniors officers, sometimes they don't agree on doing this podcast because this is a different platform, not a normal interview as you thought. Do you have any feedback or anything you liked about the session?
No, I think it's something good. Basically, you need to connect more and more people and more officers. So there are lot many people who adore you, who would like to be. So मुझे याद है मेरे फादर, मुझे जब मैं नागपुर में रहता था, हम घूमते, जैसे दिस इज अ प्लेस कॉल्ड सेमिनरी हिल्स. सो देयर सीनियर ऑफिसर्स हैड देयर बंगलोज. तो आई वुड गो एंड देन ही से कि तुम्हारा भी ऐसी बंगला होगा, है ना. एंड आई वुड ऑलवेज व्यू कि यार ये किस तरह का अफसर, स्कूल में, हाँ मे बी 1988 सो मेरा ये कहना है कि तो हम हमेशा किसी को अडोर करते थे कि ऐसा होगा या इन लोग की लाइफस्टाइल ऐसी है. अब पहले तो कोई तरीका नहीं था, अब तरीके हो गए हैं. अफसर्स अपने बारे में पोस्ट करते हैं, लिखते हैं, वीडियोस डालते हैं, तो पीपल कम टू नो अबाउट कि आपकी किस तरह की लाइफस्टाइल है. सो देयर आर लॉट मैनी एस्पिरेंट्स. यूपीएससी के लिए बहुत सारे लोग एस्पायर करते हैं, कोई पीएससी के लिए एस्पायर करता है, कोई नीचे की एग्ज़ाम के लिए. तो सीनियर ऑफिसर्स बिकम देयर रोल मॉडल्स एंड दैट मोटिवेट्स देम एज वेल. तो आई थिंक इस तरह से आप जो कनेक्ट करोगे लोगों को और लोग आपके पॉडकास्ट सुनेंगे, बातें करेंगे, सो अब यही बातें मेरी जो थी, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कोई मुझसे निकाल पाता इस एंगल में, या मैंने किसी को बोला हो. हम लोग के आपस के डिस्कशन में है, पर सोशल मीडिया पे या इस पे कम डिस्कशन है. तो अब व्हेन दे विल सी दिस दे विल रियली बी हैप्पी. इट्स मोर कि वी नीड टू पुश इट टू थ्रू अदर्स एज वेल फॉर मोर पीपल टू हियर दैट.
Sir, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It was really nice to see you too.
Thank you.